8:30 p.m. and we're doing another Silicon Valley podcast with Sophie here. How's today?
It's doing great. And if you're coming here for the first time, hi, we're Sofia and Andre. We're living in Silicon Valley as we build technology. We're both founders of technology companies. But yeah, today was cool. We went to Google. We went to the Googleplex where a lot of people were working, where there were a lot of snacks.
Yes.
What did you learn from Google today?
That having a corporate job becomes way too comfortable and that it could be dangerous because I don't know, it's just like a very balanced life. Like you go in, mostly like most Google people like don't go work on Mondays to the office and Fridays and then they go to the office, but still like working at the office, it feels like a playing zone. It feels like you're a kid all the time. Like there are a bunch of activities to do. You can get a massage anytime. You can play soccer with your friends, beach volleyball anytime you want. Not anytime, but like in between your breaks. And it's just fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like I also saw that, but I also feel like there's a moment in time for companies where you get to that point and it can be interesting. Maybe it is a danger for innovation though. Right? Because you're not your company does not depend on innovation anymore. It just depends on existing, right? But as I always say, I feel every role is necessary to sustain the world. Some companies need to be at a stable point, while some others are dying to stay alive, like we are as founders. I saw that as well.
Yeah, but also the other point is like big companies eventually become very bureaucratic, not because they want to, because every change they make affects billions of users or millions of users. So you have to, every decision you make, you have to go through layers and layers of approval, just to make sure you don't cannibalize your product or do something bad with it. But anyways, today that was Google. Today we're going to talk about how to build very close relationship circles that help you grow and help you become the best version of yourself. So I think there's this famous quote that if you're in a group and you are not the dumbest person in the room, you're in the wrong group. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I love that phrase. Just because my most interesting friendships or the people I've met that have showed me different sides of the world that I didn't know were always people in circles where I felt like the dumbest. And I would say, of course, the dumbest in some things. I feel like that's one of the beautiful things. Like, you feel like you're really, really dumb, but at the same time, you also feel like you can add something back to that room, which I think it's also important. Because if you're just the dumbest and you're just there, absorbing, I think it gets to a point where the circle doesn't want to be surrounded by you as well. So I think a bit of that. But for that reason, I am very, very selective with my circle. And I think I started doing that when I was 18. I remember I just made a list of people and I was like, okay, do these people energize me or do they drain me? Do they make me become a better person or they just distract me? And I made a list and I was like, okay, now this is the list. This is who I surround myself with. Did you ever do that? Something like that? That selectiveness?
Well, I tried many times, but it's true that sometimes it depends on the environment you are, and depending on the environment, it's harder to find the people that you end up admiring and you want to stick with. Because it is true that the rarer your mind is, or the rarer you are, it is more difficult to find like-minded people. So you need to go to places and environments where you're most likely to find those like-minded people. Otherwise, you'll be very, very alone. And that's the case, what happened with me. I was a very ambitious 14-year-old, 15-year-old kid, while everyone's thinking about partying and stuff like that. And I was thinking about, building and bioengineering and stuff like that. And it was not very easy. I had to go out of the country to find other people who also went out of the country to look for the same thing I was looking for because all I've ever wanted was a group of friends and people that would accelerate me at light speed eventually. So yeah, I didn't have luck. I honestly, I didn't have luck. I was I don't know, a very, lonely kid, I guess. Yeah. But Yeah, moving to Silicon Valley, it's a different story. It depends on like what you do and what you love. If you're into movie and artsy industry or whatever, go to Los Angeles. Like you'll find a lot of people there, like very creative people. Here's tech. Like if you are a tech nerd in biotech, like AI, hardware, whatever it is, you'll find people here. And yeah.
Yeah. On that same note, I think it's very important to realize that we live in a globalized world. I think most of the people that are watching us already know that. And the fact that the people that exist in the world are not only the ones that are surrounding you immediately. And if you don't feel inspired by that people, it's valid. That's where you were born. That's where you were raised, probably. But you get to decide who comes with you in the next part of your journey. And I think something I love thinking about is when I think of artists, like, I don't know, Da Vinci, and like everyone, like Picasso, even Einstein, like they used to hang out. Like all the geniuses that we know of, even like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, like they used to hang out. They weren't born on the same cities, but they went out on adventures that got them into the same points. For artists, it was Paris. They would just all hang out in Paris, and maybe the beauty of Paris was not only that there was the Eiffel Tower and the trees, but it was that they decided to go there and meet each other. So definitely remember that if you feel alone right now, it's valid. You're going on a journey. We also always, I don't know if always, but I feel like especially builders, we sometimes get to that point where we need to be alone for a while. It also happened to me when I was like 18 and I was starting to decide about my circle. There was a year that I was like, okay, no one, like no one energizes me right now. And I'll just stick to books. I'll stick to YouTube videos. I'll stick to movies, and I'll find inspiration there. And I'll stick to the Bible, and I'll just choose the things that will nurture my ideas, my heart, my hands. And I'll stick to that. And eventually, after reading so much, after seeing so many videos, I started attracting my tribe, which I also feel like right now I do have. Like, actually, we decided to talk about this because today we were just in Google. We were walking back to the car and we were just having so much fun. Like, some people were dancing, some people were like throwing the ball, some people were like asking very interesting questions. And I was just like, it was so hard to get here. Like, it was so hard to get to a place where you can really, really be your full self, but it's definitely possible. So I wanted to share that as well, because I know that who I am today and the things that I'm building are also mainly because of people I surround myself with. Like you, yes. Like you and all my friends. And I grow a bit each day, be it in like smartness or like intelligence, but also like in kindness. We all have something different to bring to the table.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, and one last thing I want to say is that if you are today watching this video, like in your room, and you feel alone, this is the key moment for you, because you might not find the right people that will like spark your mind and like bounce ideas with you to create something beautiful. Mm-hmm. Because that takes time. That takes time for you to build yourself and get yourself out there, scream at the world that you live and that you're building, right? And that you're here. And eventually you'll attract the right minds and people to reach out to you and say, hey, I like what you're doing. And that's that. So during that time that you're in your room all alone, that's the pivotal moment in your life that you're gonna get very good at something. That where you can put focus into only one thing that you're passionate about and you love doing, and that'll bring everything to you. So the best way to find the people you want to surround yourself with is to focus passionately and obsessively in yourself, nothing else, and you'll attract everything.
Yeah, and also to close, don't dim your light just because the people around you are not shining. One of the biggest blessings you can give to the world is to remind everyone around you that it's possible to shine and that it's good to bring your light into the world. So thank you for being here, because already watching, like just by watching this video, we can already tell that you're a person that wants to continuously learn, continuously grow. So you're part of the tribe in a sense. We love you. Not in a sense, like in every sense. And with that, we close today's podcast. We love you so much. Have fun. Bye.
Bye.